Welcome, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do you need? Shadow read for this full moon in Aquarius to new moon in Virgo, August 2023. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. I'm not bad. I'm just spelled that way. I'm a professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle production since 1998, 25 years. In service at the time of this timed recording. I get those confused. I am the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, arranged in chakra chapters. There's a Kindle version. You can click on the link in the description box and preview it for free and see which graces go in which chakras if you so like, but that's the Kindle version. Boy, did we have to tone it down for Kindle. The original version of Words of Grace, WOG from the Professional Witch, is over on Patreon. Some of my subscribers on my members-only subscription platform have access to that, but it's also in our shop. We now have a shop. Patreon's the best. All of my subscribers, though, get 3 benefits in common, regardless of the level of subscription. They get a daily check-in with me pretty much every single morning, an unlisted YouTube live stream link, so they literally chat with me about the day's astrological weather, the spiritual implications, magical applications, full moons, new moons, Sabbats, all of that. I love it. We always end with a prayer, a blessing, a little something, send us on our way. Best way for me to start my day, considering what I do for a living. Second benefit that they all get is access to all of the extended readings, past, present, and future. All the part 2s to the part 1s. They're all timeless. They are all relationship, soul contract based, and there's an awful lot of them. Most of them are over an hour, so if you're looking for detail, I'm your witch. The third benefit that my subscribers get is an extensive discount on private sessions with me, whether spiritual counseling or reading, Zoom record, in person if I gotta travel. We'll talk about it at the end of the video, which I believe is that way. And I love my Patreon. We also have 7-day free trials for our first 2 levels of subscription, Seeker and Human. So if you would like to check us out, bail on the last day, I don't care, it's fine. I'd rather you check out the daily check-ins and the extended readings, but if you want the extensive discount, you gotta make it till at least day 8 and be a subscriber for at least a month, but you would get the same discount as the gods and goddesses, the top tier. So do click the link, check it out, and come Patreon on Patreon, because I am the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. You can just call me Mal, because I don't take myself that seriously. Could you imagine? Just change the name, right? Do the paperwork now. So, welcome. Let's do some explanation for the new Scorpios and Crosswatchers, and we'll jump into the divination. If you'd like to jump ahead, go right ahead. But we are going to talk about the 2 weeks of astrology going down this waning moon in August. So, welcome, new Scorpios and Crosswatchers, and 8-card draws, just 1 card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about absolutely anything. We are fine-tuning it for a 2-week period, a waning moon, from full to new, the releasing, the surrendering, the fun stuff, the stuff we all love to do, said nobody ever. The spiritual alchemy, releasing the 3 atoms in between lead and gold on the periodic table of elements, the language of spiritual alchemy I'm apparently fluent in, and it really helps me a lot. Let's look at this rather tricky 2-week period. I am a Virgo sun sign, 4 planets, 2nd house. Of course I have a clipboard and the deets written down. Check this out. Full moon in Aquarius, Tuesday, August 1st, which is also Lammas or Lughnasadh, one of the 8 pagan Sabbats of the day. Midsummer, it's in between summer solstice and autumnal equinox, so right in the middle. That is the day proper, right? It is usually the 1st or the 2nd of August is when people celebrate that loaf mass. It's got a large tradition and many different traditions. And that's at 2:32 p.m. Eastern. I am in New York. We'll talk about that again. So, when the moon rides at her peak, then your heart's desire seek. You got a full moon on a high holy day. Go for it. Then after a couple of days, the shadow work tends to kick in, the releasing, the letting go. And you can wait until the last 3 days before new moon and the balsamic or dark moon. You are Scorpios, I wouldn't be shocked. But this is to help you do a little bit so it doesn't hit you all at once. Taking us to a tricky new moon. Void, of course, at first, Wednesday, August 16th, 5:38 a.m. I'm not going to be awake for that anyway. And when the moon is void, of course, it's not a great time to plant a seed, right? So to speak, the moon, the planet of magic, is void. Right, so it'll go into Virgo later that day on Wednesday, August 16th at 7:14 p.m. And I'd rather because I'm a Virgo, so I'm gonna wait for that. So in between those two dates, there are two things of note. Let's do the more upbeat one first. On Monday, August 7th, is the actual astrological cross quarter of Lughnasadh, Lammas, Lofmas, whatever, however you want to frame that. That's when the sun is at 15 degrees in Leo, halfway through the sign of Leo, fixed fire. So the proper day that most people, acknowledge it is on the 1st or 2nd, but this is the actual moment of it that day, and that's when I do my own personal work. So if you wanna. Now here comes, that's the meal, here's the check. Chiron is retrograde in Aries and has been for a good chunk of July and will remain so until December 23rd. Happy holidays. And it's in Aries. I mean, I'm like healing childhood trauma, the first sign of the zodiac. Aries, the child, ego, personality self. Look what's going on in the world right now, right? So I don't see how anybody's escaping that. So not just this shadow period, right, this waning moon, but all of them up until then. That's going to be wild. So just keep that in mind, right? It is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Do check your other signs. I write all of mine down. Well, I write them all down anyway, but then I apply them, both the 8-card draw releasing the waning moon and the 5-card draw, beautiful, beautiful plant a seed, hope it grow. I write them down and they're working. They're working for me. But you get out of it what you put into it. So yeah, general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. Crosswatchers, you have the opportunity to get some insight, understanding, sympathy, and understanding for the Scorpio we are cross-watching for, because we know how secretive they are. But you also have the opportunity to help them release, transform, alchemize from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, to live in a more golden timeline, little by little by little, a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser version of them, and clearing the field, weeding the garden, if you will, for that new moon in Virgo. So, I think that's all the explanation that is required at the moment. Otherwise, they would have dropped it into my third eye. So let's do the divination. Both feet on the floor. If you can, focus on your breath, if you will, and I will do the very best that I can. I always do. To help anyone alchemize their lead to gold, their shadow to light, their pain to peace, their toxic to healthy, their fear to love, and their illusions to truth. Big time. To be a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser version of themselves so that we have a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world. Sounds like a gig. Let's do it. Let's go into the still point. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheonic override. Using the Caroline Mace archetype cards, I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, beloved ones. What is the dominant archetype in the 8th chakra hovering over the heads of the Scorpio collective? Sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and their crosswatchers watching this video drawn to this reading, indicating the shadow work, changing and shifting all of the chakras underneath so they attract and repel what they need to attract and repel, so they have the free will to no longer delay that which cannot be prevented. Because how many times you want to keep reincarnating to do this stuff? This full to new. August 2023. Ooh, that gossip. Ooh, you a gossip girl? Now, the gossip is a creative family archetype. Some of the greatest counselors I've ever worked with have it in the gold. Written on the card as the shadow attribute and the light attribute. We're all in there somewhere. You can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, or be dealing with somebody who has this, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Regardless, it's your alchemy to do, right? So even if we don't have because I don't gossip, well, celebrity gossip is a little bit different. That comes with the job, apparently. But I took vows of confidentiality. That's what these chords are about, mostly. So let me read you what's written on here. The lead of this, or the shadow attribute, thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information. Now, we're not seeing that in the world much, are we? And betraying confidence is everything, right? Confidentiality to me is the core. I know if I violate my vow of confidentiality, I just have a feeling the gods are going to snatch away my intuitive gifts, and I'll be like, what's a tarot card? The light you're shooting for awakens consideration for the feelings of others. Well, would this hurt them? Now, that there's a healthy way to do that. Like, I just want to say anything of codependence. That's not it. But honoring trust, right? Honoring trust, not just in the conversation, but to trust your own integrity and to trust that there's a process and that liars don't heal and healers don't lie. That's just how that works. You know, healers can lie, but in that moment they're not healing. So, you know, we all have to heal ourselves on some level, right? Isn't that how that works? Mostly. Let's get the next 4 chakras down with one card from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. The internal, the feminine energy, the goddess energy, and heart, third eye crown, third chakra minimum, willpower, spit, swallow, or chew, choices and decisions. You have the choice as to whether or not you want to do this alchemy or not and jump to a golden timeline or not. Isn't that wonderful? Free will. Please take a nice deep breath. Easier said than done. Still point. Goddesses override. Using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. I call upon my beloved goddesses of water, the sign of Scorpio, powers of the West. Please, beloved goddesses of fixed water in particular, what is your guidance, your grace, your loving, wise, powerful message using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, heart, third eye crown, internal, feminine energy, dynamic, to help the Scorpio collective and their crosswatchers alchemize the gossip this full to new. Criticism, 9 of blades, the 9 of swords on the inner, definitely talks about a lot of thinking, but also, I would say, element of air, throat chakra. What are you saying? What are you spitting, swallowing, or chewing on? And is that what you're overthinking about? Now, that's not the only interpretation of the 9 of blades. If you'd like a reminder of what it looks like in Rider-Waite, it's something like this. I'd be freaking out too if I had all of them sharp, pointy things hovering over my bed. I don't, thanks. I do have a ceiling fan though, so not that far away. The key word written here is criticism. Now, we always enter in the lead with that word, but think critical math, right? Critical thinking. Critical care unit, right? It's detail, and that's why all the arrows or the blades here are focused inwards. This could be self-criticism. This could also be very much going deep in to connect with said chakras. Could be all 4, maybe focusing on one of them in particular, let's say third chakra, but you do you. Let's look at the masculine energy, stepping out, looking at yourself, or you from the inside, looking out at people, places, and things, relationships in the physical world, the yang dynamic. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh. Ooh. Second chakra, tummy grumble. Okay, Scorpio. Still point. My gods override. As I call upon my gods of water, the sign of Scorpio, powers of the West, I shall go into the West and remain illustratorial. Please, one card in clarity for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers. That was a shadow possession moment. Hey, Galadriel. watching this video, drawn to this reading. She conquered it, though. My beloved ones, what is your guidance, your grace, your loving, powerful message here, using the Mythic Tarot, inside out, outside in, lower three chakra dynamics, relationships in the physical world, to help the Scorpio and the Crosswatchers alchemize the gossip of this full to new Temperance! Yay! Oh, good. An alchemical card. When it is a major arcana card in a 5 or a 7 card draw, it represents usually all of them in that zone. So really pay attention to your lower three chakra intuition. They each have different voices, each chakra. I learned that from Carolyn Mace, MYSS. She's a PhD, and those are her archetype cards. Sacred Contracts. Anatomy of the Spirit is where I learned the 8 chakra system, and I love her. But Temperance here in the Mythic Tarot is the goddess Iris, the goddess of the rainbow, certainly a card of harmony and balance, and of course the Two of Cups are always present. Except in this deck, one is silver and one is gold, which I sort of love. Temperance, if you want to really see the meaning of temperance, go watch a YouTube video on tempering metal, right? All these awesome restorations, I think is one of them. He's amazing. He's so cute. He's sort of just tattooed, right? He's really, really sweet, and he's fun. But you see what they do to take this rusted, beat-up metal and refine it, right? It's the process of refining temperance. They heat the stuff up to, like, white hot, and then they douse it in oil and, electrolysis, all this stuff that they do. Not the hair removal, obviously. Who needs a hairy piece of metal? But certainly, with that vibe there, if this is you from the outside looking in, a major arcana can also be a stage in your life, a place in your life, so to speak, where this sort of alchemy, it's showing up. And it is a card of balance, it is a card of patience, and it is certainly a card of healing. But, simple need not imply easy here, particularly with gossip. Well, we got our chakras on the table. Let's remove some of those obstacles. Those 3 atoms in between lead and gold, with the Whispers of Lord Ganesha by Angelo Hartfield. I've had a long relationship with Lord Ganesh. When I started drawing the Circle Productions in 1998, I was working at Borders Books and Music in Bohemia. It's a lot of bubas. And I ran across the Ashaya monks. I ended up taking their first sphere workshop as the very first workshop, pretty much, we did at Drawing the Circle. And I've taken all 5 spheres of it since. They're wonderful, but very Hindu-based. Ganesha, the elephant-headed god, Hindu elephant-headed god of success, prosperity, and removal of obstacles. Let's ask him what he thinks about, what he knows about all of this. Please take a nice deep breath. Ganesh, override. It's a permission, not a command, people. As I call upon my beloved Lord Ganesh, I love you so much. Please, beloved God of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, what is your guidance, your grace, your loving wisdom, powerful oracle message? Loving, wise, powerful oracle message to help the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and Crosswatchers watching this video drawn to this reading. Alchemize the gossip, whether it's about them or somebody else, does not matter. To alchemize the gossip from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, this full to new. Innocence! Good luck, Scorps. I know way too many of you. Innocence, well, that is the core of who we are, right? The divine child. See, because you got the wounded child like a cloud around the divine child, all right? So that's the shadow work. Inner child work got a really bad rap in the 90s because people couldn't handle it, right? They couldn't handle the innocence of the core of who they are, so it became a joke. Along with the talking stick, by the way, both of which are very potent healing processes, if you want to call them that. This one isn't about the inner child specifically, if I remember correctly. Did I overshot 43. Come on now. I know how to count. I was raised by a teacher. Let me read you what this is about. By the way, they're talking about the golden glow, which you probably can't see in this lighting. The simplest gestures of love and respect can prevail over even the toughest of hearts. your own or somebody else's Scorpio stinger rising over your head, probably since that gossip card, probably it's in the title. Yeah, that's probably what got you here, Scorps. In this card, the lightness of the aura around Ganesha portrays innocence. By being soft and still, you give the universe the opportunity to assist you in creating your desires. Be willing to release any cynicism. Good luck, Scorps. Have you noticed yourself becoming increasingly critical over time? I'm not kidding. Get the book. You'll see it. That's what it says. As you gather more experience, sometimes the familiarity of a situation can cause you to lose touch with your innocence. Like a callus builds up, right? It is only natural to expect similar outcomes as you have had in the past when similar situations present themselves in your life. And that's the thing. Most Scorpios I know don't let on what's going on, so people start talking, right? Always looking for the smoke so they can imagine a fire. Don't forget, though, that change and transformation are always possible, and that's what this reading is for. You are being offered an opportunity to approach this situation with renewed peace. If you are making changes to your job situation, relationships, or even the direction of your life path, approach this with a sense of exploration and excited curiosity of a child. All right, we've got to stick a pin in this for a second. When the child is afraid, it's not up for anything, right? You could take it to its favorite place in the world and be like, right? It's going to freak, right? But if a child feels safe, they're up for anything, right? What's that? Because they know that they don't know innately, right? And that's the innocence. That is very Course in Miracles, by the way. Be willing to let go of preconceived ideas that have developed over time in your mind. Allow your heart to be centered and in a place of peace. And I would say even that goes into that deep focus here that we have in the Nine of Blades, some deep introspection, but like finding that thing, zeroing in on it. Every day call on Ganesha. Here we go. You can do this for 2 weeks, your choice. Every day call on Ganesha for guidance to renew your mind and refresh your thinking. With Ganesha's assistance, contemplate each situation you encounter. There's that Nine of Blades. Instead of overthinking, focus, right? Focused, fixed water. You can do this. Ask Ganesha to support you. Remember to pray for freedom from fears, shadow work, worries, shadow work, and unhealthy obsessions that might control your thoughts and harm your soul. Well, the soul is the immortal part of us, so I don't exactly agree with that phrase. Be accountable for your decisions and their result. Just knowing that you are responsible will assist you to take decisions seriously and with greater consideration. Maybe, how about consideration for the feelings of others? And maybe even your own. Really, it depends on which side of this gossip you're on, whether you're the one spitting it or you're the one hearing it. Yeah. All right, 4 down, 4 to go. Another town, one more show. Let's do animal, vegetable, and mineral. Animal, we're going to use the Divine Animals Oracle, vegetable, the magical orb, the magical herb oracle, and mineral, the crystal oracle, and then we'll end with a Matcon healing mantra as usual. All right, everyone has spirit animals and totems. Let's see who's helping you with the shadow work. Please take a nice deep breath. It's my favorite one. Still point. Totemic override. As I call upon the spirit animals and totems for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading, beloved ones who walks with them, who swims with them, who flies with them, who crawls with them, offering them the support, the protection, the guidance, the grace, the loving, powerful oracle message to help them alchemize the gossip this full to new meerkat. Hakuna Matata, babe. Responsibility, which, you know, sounds like burden. That's how I grew up. It's your responsibility. I was like, I don't want it. But it means your ability to respond. It is, in a way, the opposite of the word react. React usually comes from shadow, right? It's that trigger, make trigger send, right? But response comes from love. It is considered, and we're just talking about responsibility here with Ganesh and the Innocence. It is your responsibility to make the wisest, most loving, empowering decisions. Don't, feel singled out. It's all of us. If you want to travel the golden timeline, you got to do this. So I'm going to read you the first part and the last part of this. The first part of it is the verbal kind of description of what's going on here, but there's the magical application. And this definitely feels tribal. How could it not be? You can't really have gossip without a whole bunch of people involved. So, meerkat, responsibility. Do you take your responsibility seriously, or is it easier to blame others or outside influences? This is so very the Innocence card, right? Like, am I remembering this clearly? There should be a balance between responsibility for others and yourself. Someone may not be honoring their word. Oh, developing altruism is important. Teaching others the skills you have mastered is a highly honorable act. That's because meerkats really work well together as a tribe. Meerkat magic is all about altruism and responsibility. Such small but fierce creatures watch out for each other and work as a community to educate and protect. Call upon the energy and magic of meerkats when you need help with yourself or someone else to hold their word or to fulfill their responsibilities, like with deep, dark Plutonian Scorpio secrets. Meerkat energy is also valuable in facilitating teams in difficult conditions. Somebody dealing with a narcissist. Someone being gaslit. It's not gaslighted, it's gaslit. I'm thinking, what do I know? Last person who tried to gaslight me blew up. Yeah, when you give your life over to the gods, has some perks. One of which is finding out your archangelic lineage. Both the magical herb oracle and the crystal oracle have been charmed, enchanted, dedicated, consecrated, whatever you want to call it, to my archangel Ariel. You'll hear why in the prayer if you don't know already. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ariel. Override. As I call upon my beloved Archangel Ariel, one of the archangels of the north powers of earth, hence the magical herb as well as the crystal oracle coming next. Please, my beloved Archangel of Lyons, my Archangel of wealth, the Archangel of nature, what is your guidance, your grace, your loving, wise, empowered oracle message to help the Scorpios and the cross-watchers watching this video drawn to this reading alchemize the gossip this full to new? Healing is the key word. It's cannabis. I think my friend Pam, if she was drinking something, just shot it out of her mouth and her nose. Oh my God. God's legal where I live. Card 26, cannabis. That's a scream. Yeah, no, it is. Okay, the design is this Dear Dandy, D-E-R. I think she probably took that from a live still watercolors, whatever. That just cracked me up. I love doing what I do for. Oh, it's quite a skill to make a shadow read funny, huh? Don't you think? I'm just going to read you the oracle meanings, but there's botanical description, magical correspondences, and I'm sure there's a potion or something in here. Cannabis healing spell. You do you. Here we go. Buff, buff, give. The oracle meaning. This is a time of contentment and fulfillment and the attainment of a healing outcome. Dealing with gossip. Lovely. Romantic relationships are entering a period of development, and for those looking for love, this could be the beginning of something very special. Family togetherness, there's the meerkats, right? Family togetherness, special occasions, and relationship restoration restoring relationships, there we go, are all indicated. Lead with your heart when making decisions or plans. You can't really go wrong. If you are seeking curative care, you may need to expand your horizons a little and try something new. Be careful of trivial disagreements, becoming too micro-focused or getting bogged down in details. Pick your battles wisely. I'm going to say that goes right back here. Now look, this is going to take time. I mean, this could take longer than 2 weeks, but you're laying, well, are you laying a solid foundation? That's waxing. You're clearing the ground for this and revealing your own innocence, right? Innocence really comes to me with the grace of humility. It's the first and last grace in my book, Words of Grace. Grant me the maiden grace of humility to know that I do not know, but I am willing to be shown, right? It's not passive at all. So healing, cannabis healing, a little CBD, a little THC, E-I-E-I-O. Oh, old MacDonald had a farm, all right. He just doesn't remember where it is anymore. So let's move on to the Crystal Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno, as I said, already set up for Archangel Ariel. So let's ask her. I love this read. Please take a deep breath. Just hope the gossip's not about me. And even if it is, so what? Still point. You tell me, right, Ariel? As I call upon my beloved Archangel Ariel once again, please, beloved Archangel of Lyons, Archangel of Wealth, Archangel of Nature, what is your guidance, your grace, your loving, wise, powerful oracle message to help the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video drawn to this reading alchemize the gossip this full to new? Tumbled stones, rainbow healing. Now come on, you got tumbled stones. They're not hard to find either. Go out in your driveway. I'm sure you got something you can work out. I mean, really, I usually say clear quartz does everything, but you know, put it in a bag, put it in your purse, in your jacket. You do you, right? Little something to carry you through the shadow work, dealing with gossip. You know, it's like David and Goliath them. Not the claymation series from the 70s and 60s. Mighty Fortress is our God. Flashback from my Gen Xers out there. Tumbled stone, rainbow healing. Today marks the start of a new beginning, a new way of looking at life, third eye, and the world around you. Be it in dreams or through beautiful rainbows, goddess of the rainbow, Iris, you are being infused with light and blessings. There's the aura of innocence. Relax! Exclamation point. Mr. Salerno's big on relax, followed by an exclamation. Hurry up and relax! Sounds very Scorpio. Surrender your concerns to the universal light of love and allow this wonderful healing to occur. You will soon find that others are attracted to you. Many will come and seek your help and advice, for you are a beacon of light unto all. In the near future, you will empower others with your love and wisdom as you help them see their own inner light and beauty. The innocence at all of our core, right? Cores, whatever. Cores, of course. You are a natural-born healer who heals through the power of love, and that is true. When a Scorpio can really move into that place. Fixed water, that focus, like very heart chakra here, but doesn't that come right back down here? This feels like your dominant card here. You got a lot to think about, but it's really about getting into your own heart chakra there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I dig it. So let's get your last card down. The Matcon healing mantra. Cross watchers, here's the big opportunity. Just work the mantra a little bit every day. Grab a handful of smooth rocks. Doesn't sound right. But you kind of get what I'm doing. And, you know, stick them in your mouth when you want to gossip. Don't do that. No, that's not recommended. You know, follow your doctor's advice, I would think. I am witch, not witch doctor. Sorry. Let's get this last one on the table from the Ascended Masters themselves. Yeah, they all like me. I'm fun. I'm a good time. Should I make them laugh? Still point. Ascended Masters override. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly on behalf of, for the Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video, receiving this reading. It's like the Ascended Masters United Nation in my dining room right now. Please, beloved ones, what is your guidance, your grace through the perfect healing mantra to help the Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading, alchemize the gossip in the 8th, Nine of Blades on the inner, Temperance on the outer, removing obstacles with innocence and responsibility, because that was in both cards there, with the meerkat magic, cannabis healing, and the rainbow healing, because they are healers when they choose to be, just like all of us. So what is the perfect healing mantra to help them pull this off, this full to new? Anchoring the light. The light is always within me. Come on. Come on. Talk about repetition of divinatory clues, tips, and hints. I'm going to read it from the Bookie Book, but this is true of all of us. See, like anchoring the light. Back in the 80s and the New Age 90s, you had to like draw down that light. We're all trying to bring it from as above into the so below, and that still goes on. Tying the cosmic knot, star alignments, all of these things, right? It's been called in many different traditions. But it's within. It's always there. You wouldn't be in a body unless it was there, because you are that light. I do go on. But hey, I'm my own boss. What am I going to do? Report myself to HR? I am HR. Anchoring the light. The light is always within me. So if somebody starts to gossip, just hit them with that. The light is always within me. It's kind of a warning, isn't it? When you anchor the light, you are accepting the infinite life force of the universe as your guardian, navigator, and companion. As you anchor the light, you're no longer a person trying to find the deeper meaning of connection. Instead, you know yourself to be a living expression of connection simply by appearing in human form. So you got that taken care of. You're here, right? So job done. Your part's done. Now just do the mantra. This mantra is ideal for overcoming fear, reducing cravings, and making important life decisions. And you know that craving to pass on, it's in here, right? Thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information. And we know that's a nightmare on planet Earth right now in all sorts of different ways and forms, right? So, interesting read. Definitely responsibility here. There are probably a lot of people involved here, so little cannabis healing goes a long way, I suppose. Again, you do you. Let's put this together in what we call a blessimation. Well, we came up with it over on Patreon. A combination of blessing and summation. At the end of that, technically, it's the end of the reading. Although, in the last little bit, I do talk about Patreon and readings, and sometimes other things come. So I also get to release you all in my energy field by allowing any goofy left in my energy field to purify us all. Please take a nice deep breath. Last time, I know I asked you to breathe a lot. It's so unfair of me. How you do suffer. Still point. Pantheonic override. And we end as we began. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need. This full to new, to awaken their considerations for the feelings of others so they can more easily honor, trust, because they're going to think about it, that critical energy there, so much third eye and throat chakra involved here that they will temper little bit by little bit as they go with the patience, because temperance is alchemy. It takes time, it takes heat, it takes pressure, balancing all of that, and may they remove the obstacles by making responsible decisions from a place of innocence, maybe that innocence of the child within their heart, so that they can take responsibility here with the meerkat magic, right? It's not only their responsibility. Yes, there are others involved here, but they can certainly teach by example here, should they not decide to talk about it, because there is a cannabis healing here, and we know what happens when people go into cannabis healing. Me talk quite a bit, which is another thing that might be for some of you in this reading. Be careful what you say, because they have the opportunity to really evolve into via the alchemy into a golden rainbow healer, a true healer, healing through the power of love as they anchor the light, affirming the truth that always has been, is now, and always will be the truth. The light is always within them, so they can be the best that they can be, the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest versions of themselves. By doing the alchemy from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, this full to new August 2023, for their well-being, for the well-being of all, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser life, and a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world, for the well-being of all. And with harm to none, third chakra, as we will it. So let it be done. So let it be. And so it is. Underworld Catwalk. Thank you, Janet Grace. Scorpio placement somewhere, I just don't remember where. So if you liked the video, if you liked the reading, hey, if you even like the music, hit the thumbs up. It just helps other Scorpios find the reading, because that's how algorithm works, but we don't have algorithms on Patreon. I love it so much. Oh, don't make me do math unless absolutely necessary, and I can always phone a friend. I love my Patreon, all of my subscribers, daily check-ins, extended readings, extensive discounts. We got those 2 7-day free trials if you want to check us out, and believe me, you can jump on the 7th day. But if you want the extensive discount, you gotta stay a subscriber. It's a month, right? Seeker and Human, $3, $5 USD. Have at it if you wanna. By all means, if you want to book me for one of their private sessions, there's a link in the description box to a video I made for the 25th anniversary when I finally raised my prices after 25 years. Booking private sessions with Mal explains it all in about 11 minutes. It's fun. I say over and over again, I will never, ever, ever turn somebody away because of lack of funds. Where there's a witch, there's a way, and we can work it out. As well as it is on my website, drawingthecircle.com. If you would like to see it in actual words, there's a bar chart, a bar graph. Why wouldn't there be? I'm a Virgo, right? Whether it's in person, I'm traveling, we Zoom record it, however we do it, it's all written there, and I'm glad to serve. Just click the store. It's usually right around here somewhere if you're doing it on a laptop, right? You'll get into the store. You'll see spiritual counseling and reading packages, as well as a lot of other digital stuff on there. Some digital media if you would like to purchase in my store there, but the same stuff is over on Patreon, by the way, so go check it out. And look, this is such almost like a cut and paste kind of read, and that there's so much repetition here. So you can do this. I mean, the light is always within me. So, you know, while someone's gossiped to you, that's what the light is always within me. The light is always within me. The light is always within me. You'd be surprised how well that works. I've done it. So hang in there. You can do this, right? Your honor is so important right now, but only you get to choose your lead or gold and how you go about that process. So hang in there. Have some fun with them there, meerkats. Wishing you the very best and the very best. My very best and the very blessed, my beloved Scorpios and Crosswatchers. Hang in there. Heal. Farewell. And blessed be.